Happy miserable Friday, everybody, here at Friday's episode of Bareham Engines. Miserable, mate, isn't it now?
Yeah, gonna stay this way as well, I think.
I think summer's just about over.
Yeah.
Although I'm still a bit warm because I think I've got your COVID-y bug.
Sorry, mate.
I've had to resort to the old jumper off today. So, mate, busy 3 or 4 days for us, isn't it?
Yeah, been pretty nuts.
Almost done on the Figaro motors.
Very nearly.
Last video when I mentioned these, or the one before, Christian messaged me and said, oh, I feel ever so guilty now, I've sent you 8. I said, don't worry about it, keep sending them.
They're all right, to be fair.
To be honest, we've pretty much got these done in 3 solid days, haven't we?
Yeah, once you get used to them, which I feel like we have now that we've had a few pallet loads of them, you sort of...
Once you're in the rhythm, it don't matter whether you got 8 or 4, it's just keep going, isn't it? The worst bit, I would say, is vapor blasting the blocks.
Yeah.
With all those nasty webbings and what have you.
Which you've been doing most of that. I've done 2 of them, but
I've let you have 2 of them, mate. So yeah, I've got 5 of them boxed up, just finishing the other 3 blocks. All the rest of the bits are in. Seal carriers here, blasted, thanks to you. So yeah, these will be done, and I've set myself a little pressured task by organising collection on Monday. Nothing like a bit of pressure of a Friday morning, is there?
You know, it motivates you, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, customer's coming to pick that one up in a bit. He was meant to pick that up this week. Not sure whether he'll turn up today or not. Still here though, looking pretty. Bit like ourselves. But mate, I got a right awful job down on the mill.
Oh dear.
Oh. It's just one of them jobs.
Of some sort.
Just one of them jobs you could do without. Just get the safety specs out.
Yeah.
Had a phone call about a week ago off a customer, or week and a half ago actually. A viewer from Morocco. No, not Morocco. What am I saying? Where is he from?
I don't know. Never spoke to him.
I feeling it is Morocco. But anyway, he's from miles away.
Yeah.
Got a water-cooled transporter down here.
Yeah.
That's been sort of restored, I think, down in Cornwall.
Right.
Apparently the guys had trouble with the engine. So let's head down to the mill and I'll show you, mate. Another Figaro. So basically, this is the one half of the water-cooled transporter. A little bit like the Subarus.
I was going to say, it's a Subaru.
Boxer engine, innit?
Yeah.
Look at the smile on your face. But these are nasty.
Yeah.
So the problem is with these, you've got a steel stud in an aluminium casing, surrounded by water. Not a great recipe for being able to get these studs out in the future.
No.
So the guy that's, I think he was just doing the heads originally.
Right.
And he's gone to take a head nut off and it snapped his stud in that half there. So the customer said, he said that he'd had them all out and he'd snapped it off, putting it back in, but I think that's a load of rubbish, because I've tried getting these out, mate, no chance. So we're going to leave that half alone. And this little nicey in the corner there had about 1 inch of stud sticking out, protruding. Obviously you can't get in there with a bloody grinder to grind it off. So you've got to, I've managed to drill it down to almost flush, a bit on the piss, and then John's had to come and rescue me with a die grinder and get a nice grinder, sort of nice true centre. He's gone and got a nice long series sharp 6mm drill, and we are just drilling down as very carefully as we can. So the length of the bottom of the stud. So this is a stud from upstairs, so I can show you. It's an M11 by 1.5.
So that's what's in the base there, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's what's in the base. So this is what was sticking out about that.
Yes.
So you can imagine you're trying to drill that. when you can't get into it with a grinder, not good. Not good. And you certainly don't want to start snapping all them off.
No.
To be honest with you, I think Freddie Sanders can get these short motors fairly cheap.
Really?
If you end up snapping a load of studs off in here, it ain't worth pissing about.
I was
just
buy
buy a new bottom end.
buy a Subaru engine, get that in there instead.
Well, that's what a lot of people do, isn't it?
Yeah.
So basically, John's got a nice centre in it. I set it up with the mill, and I'm just going to go down. I'm assuming this is full length in there, about an inch of thread, which is lovely, and you've got to go very, very steadily. Otherwise, the drill will wander. Now, the advantage with drilling a stud out freehand as opposed to on a mill, you'd have thought, oh, drilling a mill is the best way to do it because it'll be true. Not necessarily. On some stuff, it wants to start pushing out the side.
Yeah.
So when you're doing it freehand, you can bring it back.
Yeah, you can.
Do you know what I mean? And get that first drill dead central, which is the most important. And then whatever drill you use after that will just follow the hole.
It's drilling nice, isn't it, really?
It's drilling, mate, yeah. It feels a bit like butter, but I just don't want to force it.
Yeah.
Quite tough, actually, this stud. Oh, hang on, we're going through. We're through, mate, we're through.
Lovely.
Let's get the old airline. Watching your eyes. And that looks to be half successful. Centre of that.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to chase it down with a bit bigger drill, going very gently.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping to peel out all of that thread just with a drill, so we don't have to start getting in there freehand.
Yeah.
And then we'll go down with a heli-crawl kit. So we've got an M11 by 1.5 heli-crawl kit.
Proper job.
Jobs are good, isn't it? So yeah, nasty little job, but got to get it done by Monday because he's going back to Cyprus or wherever he's from. In
Cyprus, that's where it was.
Cyprus?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said Morocco.
Morocco.
Yeah.
Same thing, isn't it? Not really.
Only 1,000 miles or so.
So yeah, I had a bit of pressure the last couple of days, mate, getting all this done.
Yeah.
Next week's going to be a nice, easy week. Well, after this Ingenium, we have another one coming in off the same people.
Yeah. So that's that. What are they called?
JR Vehicle
Services. Yes. That's them.
Josh there, who owns, obviously the owner. Must be what the J is for in the JR. So yeah, he's got an ongoing thing with these. You have found out that this one has a
bent rod, which I didn't realise at first.
Yeah, and nor did they. They didn't know why this thing came apart. I think it got towed down to them from up country somewhere.
Yeah.
And it had low compression on one. So that was obviously why, mate. Usually with a piston like this, where you've got a big, deep combustion chamber in the top there, three things really can cause hydraulic scenario like this. You can have oil, so if the turbo's gone, pumps oil in the cylinder. Yeah. Fuel, if you've got a leaky injector, leaks overnight and fills that up, or water being sucked in through the air filter. Going for a big puddle or something like that, that's the usual cause.
Yeah.
Usually when you've got a big deep bowl like that, it's unlikely it's going to be oil or fuel, because it's going to take quite a lot of oil or fuel before it burns off to fill that. So if it sucks in a load of water through the air filter, it's going to fill that cylinder up fairly sharpish. Bang, bends the rod. Amazing how it bends like that though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Under compression.
It is.
That takes some
mental.
bloody force.
You'd think it would do more damage to like the crank than the rod, but
well, you would. But it doesn't, does it?
Yeah, and the bearing didn't look any different to the others.
No, the bearing. So it's all good. Right. So they've given us a go ahead on getting a new rod, mate, new bearings, Get it done, innit? Yeah. And then we've got another one coming in.
Yeah.
So that will be that. So that'll be hopefully done next week.
Yeah.
Two subjects I want to go on about before the end of today, because it is 10 to 5. Left a bit late again, haven't we?
Well, we did a bit earlier.
To be honest, I'm sort of aiming to put them on now between about 5 and 8.
Well, yeah, evening time.
8 o'clock seems to be all right. Yeah. People seem to be getting used to it. So give them something to watch while the missus is watching Coronation Street and that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, two subjects, mate. Firstly, been down to see Ryan about the BMW today.
Oh yeah.
Little bit of a brown trousers moment at the minute.
Is it?
Yeah. So Ryan, he's cracking on with the car. The shell's looking amazing. He's got rid of all the seam sealer and tidied up all the little unnecessary holes and what have you, and under the bonnet and in the car. And it's looking, without paint, it's looking proper crisp and fresh and nice. Under the bonnet's lovely. Got rid of all the old holes that you're not going to use, and nice and smooth. And by the time we've run the wiring loom down the outside of the inner wing, it's going to look well minty in there, isn't it? But in a moment, he's going to be stuck on that car without the C-pillar kit.
Oh.
Now, I ordered it pretty much 10 weeks ago. The chap that I was ordering it through gets it made abroad. I emailed him on the 21st of August to see if it was, how we're getting on, are we all good for time? Because he said maximum of 10 weeks. He said, yeah, all good. Ain't heard from him since. But I've messaged him 2 or 3 times, all went quiet, mate. Bit of a twitchy bum moment.
Yeah.
But weirdly, so me and Ryan were discussing if it doesn't turn up in the next 2 or 3 weeks, whether he has to get the car out of there to start another big project.
That's not good.
Not good at all. But weirdly, just as I was driving back, the guy gets in touch with me. Very, very sorry, hasn't been at work for 3 weeks. Been in and out of the hospital. He's going to be back Monday and he's going to get right on it and get it to us. That is good news for the weekend,
good news,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Second subject, mate, very quickly. I'm only mentioning this, we've mentioned it God knows how many times before in the videos, but I want to sort of leave it up to the viewers to put down in the comments what they think we should do. Because I've had this situation in the last couple of weeks about 3 times. Engines we've done. Now, a lot of the engines we do, if you notice, are classic performance stuff. Outer cars that are being restored and
or lots
done
of work
up,
being
built
done,
up. Yeah, so a lot of the time they don't get put into the vehicle till whenever,
Yeah, 3 months or something.
3 months, 3 years, you don't know. Time-wise, on the warranty, we give them like 12 months under all the terms and conditions where they've got to get it back here in the state that picked it up, etc. We give them 12 months maximum. Mileage is a difficult one because on track stuff they don't do the mileage and it's tuned and that anyway, so it's pushed beyond its means. So mileage wise, we don't really go on a mileage. It's within 12 months under the terms of, you get it back to us, we'll strip it. If it's deemed to be a problem of a part or us, then fair dues. But on those 12 months, we've had it where people have got in touch with us just over the 12 months, but because the engine hasn't been in and run, they sort of expect it as the warranty starts from when it's running, but we never know when it's running.
No, well, you don't know if they're telling the truth or if they...
This is the thing, isn't it?
If they've had it going ages and something's gone a bit wrong.
Yeah.
They're trying it on, you don't know.
So for us, I tend to do is it goes from the invoice date. When the invoice is paid is when it's picked up. That's when it goes by.
Yeah.
So if it's outside that, even if it's a day,
try and be understanding. Be reasonable,
and help them out to a certain extent if it's not going to cost us too much money. But I don't know. What does everyone think on? Should you go over at all? Should it go from when the motor's been ran? Although we never really know, do we?
No, we're never actually going to know. So we're saying it from when the engine's first been run. That's all well and good, but you just cannot, you can't confirm that information is correct.
No.
If they tell you it was from this date, you just can't, there's no way to verify it.
This is the trouble. And a lot of the stuff we do, you've got some stuff that's very easy to have an engine in and out and work on. You've got stuff that's very difficult. So we tend to say, look, we will rectify it within the 12 months. If it's a problem of, down to us or whatever, or a part. But we're not going to start getting involved in labour and other things and travelling and all the rest of it. It's like one of them, isn't it? But yeah, it's more so on the time because we do get, I have been getting quite a lot of that where they seem to think, well, yeah, whatever, but you can at least help me out. But if you went to a main dealer, they ain't going to do a day over, are they?
No, not really.
Let's be honest.
not
And this
gonna-
day and age, you know, you just, how long do you warrant it? If it's 12 months, it's 12 months, not 12 months and 2 weeks. It's
Yeah.
like, so that was it really, mate. Just what does people think we should do there?
It's a difficult one because you want to be fair and you want to help people out where you can, and if it's, you know, clearly something that we've done or is an issue with a part or whatever, then yeah, you want to help them out.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like you said earlier, where do you draw the line?
This is it. There's got
Like-
to be a line, mate.
Yeah.
You know.
And unfortunately, I feel like it does tend to vary depending on the case. Like,
It does. And if there isn't a line, or if you sort of go over the line's going to vary, isn't it? You're going to
Yeah.
be all over the shop. See you later, John.
See you later.
He's off.
Must be
5 to
5 o'clock.
5.
Oh,
No, it's
5
5 to
too.
5. So yeah, bit of a topic for people to comment on. But apart from that, have a lovely weekend. And you, mate.
Cheers, mate.
See you Monday. Cheers.